Hey, it's Vicky, and today I'm coming at you with a reading vlog, and this is like kind of weird to say, but I feel like I need to say it, is that when I was doing this vlog, initially I wasn't sure what direction it was going into, so I didn't film the intro until now that everything's done, and I never do that. I always film my vlogs and my videos chronologically. And so this is really weird for me, but I didn't want to film an intro because I wasn't sure what I was doing, because there were sort of two different kind of themes for the vlog that I could have done. So I was just kind of letting it go and seeing where it went. So here we are doing the intro last. So in this vlog, I am reading some 2024 releases that I was interested in. The three books that I am reading in this vlog, the first one is The Heiress by Rachel Hawkins. This was a mystery suspense book that I was interested in reading because I've been wanting to try Rachel Hawkins, and this one just sounded intriguing to me about this heiress with a very interesting past, that all, and sort of some mysteries surrounding some things that have happened in her life, and so the book sort of reveals those mysteries to you. And then the second book is Behind You is the Sea. I forget the author. Hold on one sec, I gotta look it up. Susan Maradi Daraj, and this one is a literary fiction following a couple of Palestinian families that live in the Baltimore area. And so you're just sort of following them throughout their day-to-day life, and it covers lots of different characters and covers quite a span of years as well. And then the third book is what would I call this book? I'm not sure what the genre is for this, to be honest with you, but what drew me to it is that it has a coming-of-age element, and that one is Poor Dear by Claire Oshetsky. This one deals with a little girl who is processing grief and invents this imaginary creature to help her do that. So those are the three books I'm going to be reading in this vlog. How did they go? I guess you guys will find out. So let's just kick off with my first check-in when I was about halfway through The Heiress by Rachel Hawkins. So I have reached the halfway point of The Heiress, and so far I am liking it. I do like that there are almost like multimedia elements to this. You have just straightforward kind of POV chapters, but then you have newspaper articles, magazine articles, and then also Ruby McTavish, the heiress that the book is named after. There are also parts from, I think it's a series of letters that she is writing to, I'm assuming, Camden, her son, just talking about her past and her marriages and that sort of stuff. And that's kind of where you're finding out everything about Ruby. And I'm not sure if at this point Camden has read those letters, because there's nothing in like his POV parts that suggests that he knows absolutely everything about his mom. I'm not sure. So a little bit of confusion there, but that's how you're finding out everything about Ruby. And so yeah, you have Camden's point of view, you have his wife, what's her name? Jules. And then you have those like multimedia elements. So it's a cool way to tell the story. I do like that. It kind of breaks things up a little bit. And it's going good. I think that Ruby's sections are interesting. She was definitely an interesting woman. Definitely had some flaws, but also was sort of funny, and just the way she sort of is writing these letters. She's not a perfect human, but you do sort of like her. I have some suspicions about some of the secondary characters, and I won't say like who specifically because I don't want to spoil things for people in case it turns out that there is something sus about them. But yeah, there's definitely a character in here that I am suspicious of. And the way that this chapter that I just finished just ended kind of confirms it, I think, which will be an interesting sort of angle with this. So I like the setting. Ashby House sounds awesome. A big old house in the middle of the woods, near the mountains, and even like the little town that it's sort of Obviously it's not in town because it's out in the middle of the woods, but the nearest town also, it has this sort of just small town sort of charm and coziness to it that I like. So yeah, all in all, I'm enjoying it. I think the writing's fine. I'm interested to see what's gonna happen with the rest of this book. So I just finished The Heiress, and unfortunately, this one is probably gonna get about a 2.5 from me, I think. Unless by the end of this video, and I've had more time to sort of sit on it and think about it. But like impulse, I just finished this book like 2 minutes ago, and it's a 2.5 at this moment. Which is unfortunate because, you know, this is an author that I've never tried before, and I wanted to give her a try. And so I'm not sure if her other books are better or not, but this one for me, I think the second half of the book just really brought me nothing. Pretty much every like twist or reveal, I figured it out. There was really nothing left to surprise me. And when I'm reading a mystery or thriller, especially one where it's sort of layered and there's a couple of different mysteries going on, I want at least one of them to catch me off guard, and pretty much none of them did. I don't know. It just felt, the whole second half, I struggled to even pick it up. And it's because I think I knew what was going to happen. So it was kind of disappointing. So let me know if there's another Rachel Hawkins book that I should try instead, because I don't want to swear her off entirely. She might have books out there that are better than this one. But this one, yeah, this one was disappointing, unfortunately. So next up, I'm going to start Behind You is the Sea. And yeah, this one sounds really promising. I'm going to do the audiobook of this one. I think it just has one narrator. So yeah, once I get going on this one, I will let you know my thoughts. So I have reached the halfway point of Behind You is the Sea, and so far I like it. It's reading to me a little bit more like a short story collection almost, because there's been 5 chapters and every chapter is a different character or POV, but they are all somehow connected or related to each other. So that part's kind of interesting, kind of fun, trying to figure out, or like trying to make those connections. For that reason though, it doesn't feel like a novel, to me. Because so far there doesn't seem to be a plot line connecting them all. They all just seem to have their own thing going on. So for that reason, yeah, it does feel a little bit more like a short story collection, which isn't bad. What can I compare it to? I'm trying to think. I think you could probably compare this to, in terms of the style and the way the book is like situated, you could maybe compare it to Girl, Woman, Other. Or what was the other one I read that was like this? Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of it. If I remember it, I'll put it up here on the screen. But it was kind of the similar thing, all these interconnected characters, and it's not necessarily about the plot. There isn't really a plot. It's more just about them, the characters. So it's more of a character study. The writing in this is really good. And it's touching on interesting topics because you have all these characters that are either, I think so far all of them are children of people that have immigrated to America from Palestine. So, and they are in different walks of life, I guess you could say. Some of them are younger, some of them are older, some of them are rich, and some of them are poor. And so you're getting a lot of different experiences and perspective, though they all live in relatively the same place. They live in Maryland, I believe it is. So you're just sort of seeing the differing ways of life between these people. So they deal with some of the same stuff. They deal with some prejudice. They deal with that whole sort of back and forth between, say, the one generation to another, about holding on to culture, about holding on to traditions, you know, family traditions, cultural traditions from their home country. And so it has a lot of interesting themes. So I am liking it, and it's very short. This is a very short book. So hopefully I will finish it soon. I am enjoying the audiobook. The narration's good. I'm going to keep going that way. And when I finish it, I will let you know what's going on.
I'm just going to stay on this.
We've been over this. It is 4:58. Dinner is not until 5:30. You're early. You gotta wait 30 minutes.
It's gonna take too long.
I know you're confused because I'm sitting in the chair and I'm not cooking right now, but that's because I already cooked today. And we're just reheating things. Okay? You will get your dinner at 5:30. Okay? 5:30. Gotta wait till 5:30. Sorry for the dots on my face. It's very sunny today, and I'm not complaining because I have been missing the sun lately. I finished Behind You Is the Sea, and this one is going to be a 3-star, I think, from me, because I think I mentioned it in the last clip. This definitely felt more like a short story collection than a novel, even though it says a novel on the front. It read more like a short story collection, and I've read books like that in the past and have actually really enjoyed them. A big example for me is Girl, Woman, Other was like that. And then I remembered the other book. It's called These Ghosts Are Family. And I think the difference for those ones was that I went into it with that expectation that it was going to be more disjointed, and be about the characters, and each chapter was a different character. And pretty much once you read that character, you were done with them in terms of point of view. And this one did the same thing, but I think it was just an expectation thing. I wasn't expecting it. So it did affect, I think, my overall enjoyment of the book. Because yeah, this is definitely a character-focused collection. There is no plot, because every single chapter is a different person, and you're sort of in their lives for that chapter, so it's whatever's going on with them. There is no overarching plot. And I like books like that most of the time. And it's not that I didn't like this. It's just it did not meet my expectations. However, I do think if you go into it knowing that it is more like a short story collection, you might enjoy it more because you have that expectation. I think it does have really good themes about family and about sort of cultural expectations, because most of the characters that we meet in this book are children of immigrants, and so they are in that sort of place where they are American and are also trying to hold on to the traditions and the culture of their homeland, which is Palestine. So I think that it had good themes, and the writing was definitely good. I would definitely read more from this author. It's just, I think it's just the format is what made it a 3 for me. So yes, I actually have to run this book and The Heiress back to the library because somebody wants The Heiress and I need to get it back so that they can enjoy it. Maybe, hopefully more than I did. So the last book I have for this vlog is Poor Dear by Claire Oshetsky. So I'm gonna get started on this one. This one's pretty short. It's under 300 pages. Yeah, it's only 226 pages, so it should be a quick read. When I get like halfway through, I will do a check-in. Hi, can I get a medium iced coffee with 2 and 2, please? Just 2 and 2, 2 cream, 2 sugar.
Gotcha.
Nope, that's it. Thank you. So I'm getting ready for the day. Dear, which I'm about halfway through, and this book is sad. And I kind of knew going in that it was going to deal with like grief and stuff, but it's really hard hitting. Our main character has this very unfortunate thing happen with her and her neighbor friend. And her neighbor friend and her are only 4 years old. I didn't realize that the main character was that young. But yeah, she's 4 years old when this terrible thing happens. And so it's the sort of thing that I think even an adult would have a hard time processing and dealing with. And so because it's this very little girl, it makes it even worse. I don't want to say too much about what the event is, but her friend does die. And I don't think that's spoilery. It says that like in the blurb. But like the circumstances surrounding it are just very hard to process. And I think that's what makes the book so effective, is that she's so young. And like at that age, she doesn't even really fully grasp what death is, let alone the feelings of grief and loss that she's experiencing. So it's kind of this like double whammy for her. And then there's also like a lot of guilt. And then her family life is not great. Her mom isn't the most caring person. And then like, because she has her own kind of baggage that she's dealing with. So she also like doesn't know how to handle this whole situation. And because she has this, you know, kind of maternal instinct to like protect her daughter, but also, she's mad at her daughter, I guess you could say. And she's always like talking about how, her daughter's name is Margaret, but they call her Bunny. Like how weird Bunny is, you know? And like, even when she talks to other people about her daughter, she's never very like positive and nice. It's always like that kind of stuff. Like, oh, I know Bunny's kind of weird and stuff. And you're like, wow, like way to like advocate for your daughter. So their relationship is also just really sad to me. And I get that happens sometimes, when a family or like multiple people are dealing with grief. Like everybody kind of processes it differently and it can put some strain. But in this case, it's just sad because Bunny is so young. And like there's parts where doesn't even really know what dead means, you know? And so it's just like, so it has this weird sort of kind of coming of age element because she's sort of processing that, because as she gets older, she starts to understand it more. And then the other sort of aspect of this is there's this creature called Poor Dear that she has sort of invented. It has sort of appeared ever since this event happened. And it's in a way helping her understand what happened and like her experience. But Poor Dear is also very creepy. Like the way that she's described, she has like hooves and she looks kind of like a deer, but like she has creepy eyes and she sort of cowers in the corners of rooms and stuff. So she definitely has this just creepy vibe. And then I'm listening to the audiobook as I physically read it, like I'm doing a tandem sort of deal. And the way that the narrator voices Poor Dear is also like just very unsettling. So I honestly at this point am thinking that this book might be my first 5-star book of 2024. We're gonna see how it pans out, but it's going really well. I'm pleasantly surprised. And yeah, we'll just see. I have like about 100 pages left, so we'll see how it goes. So I finished Poor Dear, and this one is landing at a 4.75. I thought at the halfway point it was going to be a 5-star, but then the second half of the book I don't know, it sort of took this other turn in the plot that to me was just sort of jarring. And I don't want to say too much about what that turn is, just because it might, I don't know, it might come across as spoilery, but there's just like these other characters that are introduced that you have kind of seen throughout the book, but you didn't really know their purpose until the second half of the book. It becomes more obvious, and that part of it was the part I kind of, I don't want to say I didn't like it, but it just wasn't what I wanted in the ending. But otherwise, I think that this is a really good book about grief and about guilt. And it just really was unique to me. The whole poor dear sort of aspect of the plot was what really, really like grabbed me. And it was interesting too, because there's so many times throughout the story that Margaret, aka Bunny, is telling you something that happened, and then poor dear will interject and say, no, 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 that's not how it went. Tell them how it really happened. So many times throughout the book, Margaret is not reliable. She at some points is telling you things the way that she wishes they had been instead of how they were, but then poor dear is there to say, no, you need to face reality. This is what happened. And I thought that was really cool too. I thought poor dear as a whole was really cool. So, but there was just something about the second half of the book that it just didn't feel like a 5-star. So I couldn't quite do it. And that's why I gave it a 4.75. All right, so I guess I'm gonna be wrapping up this vlog. I think that overall it was okay. I mean, I had, let's see, The Heiress was a 2.5. Behind You Is the Sea was a 3, and then this was a 4.75. So I guess it got better as we went along. And these were 3 2024 releases that I was really interested in checking out, and I'm glad that I did, and I'm gonna try my best to stay on top of the 2024 releases that I'm interested in reading this year. A lot of times, especially, I make those videos like, oh, books coming out in the next 3 months that I'm excited about, and then I don't end up reading barely any of them, and I want to change that. So yes, I think it went pretty good. This one I might, because I got it from the library, I might want to purchase because I might want to revisit it someday. But the other ones I had to take back to the library because somebody wanted The Heiress, so I wanted to get it back, and I had finished Behind You Is the Sea, so I just dropped that off too. So yeah, all in all, I think it was a pretty good vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will chat with you soon. Thank you so much for watching.